It ain't nothing but me. Top boss, big nations. Yo, passport bro next door. Nations Village. Why you should rent a car when you are in DR, Dominican Republic. We're going to talk about that today, gang. All right, now, the main reason why you want to rent a car is convenience. That big bad rental car is going to keep us in control of our own destiny. And that's very important when it comes to safety and planning your itinerary, as well as setting activities up. You know, it'll be a bummer. You got somewhere to be, you got something set up, you're going to meet somebody, whatever have you, and you got to wait on a taxi or Uber or things of that nature. Getting that big bad rental car is important, especially for those of us that's not fluent in Spanish, and for those of us that are not as well traveled. Me myself, I've only been to DR 4 times, so I'm just a beginner. So as much as I can keep up my same routine, as much as I can keep with the same pattern of movement and behavior that I have back home, when I can use that in DR, I think that works better for me. So let's touch on where to get your rental car from, gang. Now, there's many places that offer rental cars. If you know people on the islands, they'll suggest different people that they may know. They'll tell you they can get a discount, this, that, and the third. But I'm gonna tell you, for peace of mind, we're gonna get our big bad rental car from the airport every time. It don't matter which company inside the airport you use, just make sure we get it from the airport. Now, I have rented a car from two places that weren't on the airport. You walk outside of the airport into the common area, the lobby, I don't know what you really call it, and you'll have several people there pushing their rental car company. They'll ask you if you need a car, blah, 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 blah. Now, these people that's standing outside, none of their cars are going to be on the premises. I'm talking about SDQ Airport, Santo Domingo. Let me make that clear. So none of these people are going to have cars on the premises, and their place of business could be 10, 15, even 20 minutes away from the airport. A lot of those people will want to charge you a fee just to take you from the airport to their rental car place, where you're going to be spending more money. Like I said, I've done it twice. One time I had to pay the one of the employees of the rental car place. I had to pay him to meet me at the rental car place and drop me back off at the airport when it was time for me to leave. And I want to say he charged me 30 or 35 US. I had an early flight. I think I had to be at the airport at like 5 o'clock. So everything was hectic, Then another time I rented from a place outside of the airport, and the guy, I had an early departure flight again. The man was supposed to meet me at the airport at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Man, it just so happened when I got there, he was nowhere to be found. I called him. He was in the bed sleep, talking about he was on his way. I ended up having to leave that rental car with the police. He did me a solid by keeping the key. He told me where I could leave the car right there, and he'll make sure that the owner or the employee of the rental car place got their car back. Hey, but he ain't do it for free. He was cool, but he wasn't that cool. He charged me $30 or $40, So the last time I went to DR, landed in Santo Domingo, I just got the rental car right there from the airport. and everything was good. I didn't have to worry about paying a fee for him to take me to his place of business. I didn't have to worry about him meeting me back at the airport when it was time for me to go. Everything was smooth. Now, when we get that big bad rental car from the airport, we want to make sure that we get the full coverage insurance. Now, when you're at the counter dealing with the rental car people, the price that they quote you will include the full coverage insurance. Excuse me. Yeah, so you want to make sure you get that, because that's gonna take care of you if you get into any type of accidents, have any scrapes or anything like that. You get that full coverage insurance, and you'll be set to go. Every time I've rented a car, I've had some type of scrape. Just because in the DR, especially in Santo Domingo, the roads are not as wide as they are here in the States. There's a lot of congestion as far as the traffic. You may be in a situation where you have to bag out or make a funny style turn, and there's a lot of like work trucks and things like that, man. So it's very easy for you to scrape some paint. I'm not talking about no major accidents or nothing like that, but even a big scrape down the side of the car, that's gonna cost you that. But if you got the full coverage insurance, you ain't got to worry about it. Now, what we want to do, Nations Village, we want to request a car with tinted windows all the way around. Now, I always choose a Jeepeta, which is just a small SUV. I don't need nothing. We don't need nothing really big. Just enough to fit 4 people. That's good enough. But we want to make sure we get a vehicle with tint all the way around. And we want to get tinted windows so that we can decrease our chances of having any issues with the police. Now, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with police while driving in Santo Domingo. I've even had a instance where the police was out directing traffic, because they do that a lot down there in Santo Domingo. And I don't know. I don't know how I got mixed up, but I was in like the wrong lane. I wanted to go one way, but my lane was making me go another way. So the cop, he was trying to show me what to do, but I ended up doing what I wanted to do anyway. But I have heard that you can be targeted by the police, for being a gringo, the gringo treatment, of course. So the tinted windows, the darker the better. Then you just blending right on in. You don't have to worry about standing out like the sore thumb. Now we got our big bad rental, triple black tint, hopefully. Now we have the freedom, we have the liberty to go where we want, when we want, and take whoever we want to take with us. And that is just like being back home. So that's gonna put us in a more familiar state of being. So now we can go to the supermercado anytime we want. If we want to go to the supermercado every day that we're there, hey, we can do that. Jump in the big bad rental, head down the road, and go get our groceries, whatever we need to do. If we want to take in all of the sights and the activities of Dominican Republic, we can go do that. The thing about being on the island is that there's a lot of other little towns and things like that's going to be close to wherever you are, no matter if you're in Santo Domingo, Santiago, even if you're in Sosúa. There's other places on the island that you may want to visit. I know every time I go to Santo Domingo, I always end up in San Pedro de Macorís. And that's about 45 minutes away from Santo Domingo. So now a taxi from Santo Domingo to San Pedro is gonna run you like $80 US, you know? But if you got that big bad rental, hey, $5-10 worth of gas and you there and back. So, you know, we gonna use that big bad rental to our advantage. We're gonna go everywhere we want to go. We're gonna maneuver around the island. I actually plan on checking out a couple of other places when the next time I go to Santo Domingo. I wanna go to Barbacoa. I want to go to San Cristobal again and check out the river. Any place within maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. Hey, we can feel good about jumping in that big bad rental and going where we want to go, because we there to have fun. We ain't there to sit around and wait on taxis and Ubers and do all that. You know, you try and talk to the Uber driver. He don't speak nothing but Spanish, and you know our Spanish ain't that tough. So yeah, we can use the translator and everything like that. But shoot, many things get lost in translation. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not a trusting type of fella, but I just don't like being in someone else's hands. Anything can happen when you are vacationing. You're in another entire country. Yeah, anything can happen. But if something's gonna happen, I'd rather be in control of that. You know, let it be me. Don't let me get caught up because I'm in this dude taxi or this dude Uber, you know? And then just not to mention just the aspect of safety. You jump in these cars with these folks, man, you don't know, I don't know my way around Santo Domingo. I don't know if they taking me where I really need to go. I don't know. So, nah, we ain't doing that. We gonna get that big bad rental and we gonna live life free. Another thing about the big bad rental, it's gonna boost our status a little bit, you know, because the average Dominican man doesn't have a car. So, you know, you getting a lot of steps up just by getting that big bad rental. You know, you already got the US passport, so that's one level up, and now you got a car, so that's another level up. If you got something lined up, you got somebody lined up, hey, depending on how you want to do it, they don't have to catch the taxi to come to you. You could go pick them up, you know, and then when you get ready to go out on an activity, go have a little fun, have some drinks, go to dinner, whatever have you. Hey, when we ready to go, we gonna jump in the rental, that big bad rental, and we gonna go. So that's another thing, the status boost. Another good reason why we gonna get that big bad rental car is because driving in DR is similar to driving back in the States. You know, the steering wheel is on the same side, you know, the left side, and you drive the car on the right side of the road, you know? So it's not like in Jamaica. When I go to Jamaica, oh no, I will never rent a car in Jamaica, because the steering wheel is on the right side of the car and you have to drive on the left side of the road. I don't got time to be getting confused about which side of the road I need to be on. Hey, just knowing where to enter the car in Jamaica is enough, because I swear every time I'm in Jamaica, I always enter in on that passenger side, what would be the passenger side in the US. But over there in Jamaica, it ends up being the driver's side. So in DR, we don't have to worry about none of that. Everything is exactly like it is at home. So we're gonna have confidence when we get in that car. We're gonna get accustomed to to the heavy traffic and the congestion. And to combat those two things, the only thing we have to do is just be a little more defensive with our driving and our maneuvering than we would be in the States. You know, we're gonna drive for ourselves and the drivers that's around us in our proximity. The only knock on driving in Dominican Republic that I seen, and this is, Santo Domingo, just about, my experiences all in Santo Domingo, basically. At night, it is tricky driving in Santo Domingo at night. They don't have as many street lights as they do in the US, so there's a lot of little dark areas when you're riding on the road, and especially when you're on that, I think it's called the autopista. The autopista is like the main highway in and out of Santo Domingo. I'm not sure if it'll take you all the way through Santo Domingo or not, but it's a very populated freeway, and the exits and the ramps are sometimes hard to see at night. I have overrun my turn many times at night in Santo Domingo, messing with their exits and their ramps. But hey, Nation's Village, our eyes probably better than mine. So that would be my only downside of driving in Santo Domingo, is at night it could be a little tricky, especially if you not really familiar with where you're going and things like that. But other than that, everything is great, man. You're gonna be in your big bad rental car. You're gonna get to see all the sights. You're gonna be blending in with the rest of the Dominicans and that's on the road, and you're just gonna feel more in touch. You're gonna feel more in tune with what's going on around you, and that's always good. Being in tune with the environment, that's gonna make you latch on to the culture a little bit more, and it's gonna make your vacation a little better, I think. Now let's just make sure to check out the sights when we in Santo Domingo driving around in that big bad rental. We're gonna make sure to soak up all the culture and the history, and you can do that. You can do that from the car. We got the lovely DR clock tower, and we gotta keep some company with us all the time. It's always better when you got a little company and you're in that big bad rental. You're going where you want to go. So we've been here, there, and everywhere in that big bad rental. Now we got the sun setting. So now we're going to enter into the new phase. We're going to enter into the nighttime phase of driving around Santo Domingo in that big bad rental car. And we love to do it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this video of why you should rent a car when you're in Dominican Republic. Because we want to go when we want to go, where we want to go, and we want to take who we want to take with us. So there you have it, Nation's Village. We're going to just vibe out a little bit and check out some more of the street scenes. We'll holler at you on the next video. We out.